Forget the miracle morning routines you see plastered everywhere. Forget the 4 a.m. wake-up calls, the specific smoothie recipes, the mandatory journaling pages. You've heard about Tim Cook getting up before dawn, right? But did you know Jeff Bezos often wakes naturally around 8 a.m. and enjoys a leisurely breakfast? The truth is, there's no single magic list of actions that guarantees success. Trying to copy someone else's precise schedule is often a recipe for frustration. So, what is the common thread? What's the actual secret weapon shared by so many people operating at a high level across wildly different fields? It's not what they do, it's that they do it on purpose. The one habit is simply this: they start their day with intention. That's the real foundation. It's the conscious decision to take the helm for the first few moments, instead of being immediately swept away by the demands and distractions of the world. It's about shifting from reactive to proactive before the day fully kicks in. This single act of choosing how to begin is far more powerful than any specific activity you might slot into that time. It's the mental switch that sets the trajectory. Think about it like this. Your morning is the rudder for your entire day. You can let the currents of incoming demands, social media notifications, and urgent tasks, which may not be important, push you around randomly. Or you can grab the rudder yourself, even for just 5 or 10 minutes, and set a deliberate course. That act of choosing, that moment of intentionality, is the game changer. It's the difference between reacting and responding, between chaos and clarity. So if intentionality is the core principle, what are some common practical ways people put this into action? What are those other habits that often flow from this core intention? Forget the exhaustive lists. Let's look at 7 powerful, adaptable building blocks that show up again and again, not as rigid rules, but as common sense tools used by people who consistently perform well. The first is hydration. Seriously simple, right? Before the coffee, before anything else, just drink some water. Your body's been working all night without fluids. Think of it like topping up the oil in your car before a long drive. It's basic maintenance. It helps wake up your brain and body gently. Some people add lemon, some drink a full liter, some just have a small glass. The specifics don't matter as much as the simple act of rehydrating intentionally. It's a small win, right off the bat. The second is movement. This doesn't mean you need to run a marathon before breakfast. It means deliberately getting your body moving in some way that feels good to you. Maybe it's 5 minutes of stretching while the kettle boils. Maybe it's walking the dog around the block instead of just letting them out back. Maybe it's a full gym session. People like Oprah or Jack Dorsey incorporate movement, but it varies hugely. The point is breaking the state of physical inertia. Movement wakes up your body, gets blood flowing, releases mood-boosting chemicals, and shakes off the sleep cobwebs. It's another way of saying, I'm actively starting my day. Find your version of movement. The third is mindfulness or quiet reflection. Again, this isn't necessarily about sitting cross-legged chanting for an hour, unless that is your preference. It's about intentionally creating a brief pause before the noise rushes in. It could be 2 minutes of focusing on your breath. It could be silently listing 3 things you're grateful for while looking out the window. It could be journaling a few thoughts. Tony Robbins has a 10-minute process. Marie Kondo incorporates prayer. The core idea is to check in with yourself, calm the mental chatter, and create a little internal space. It's like defragging your mental hard drive before opening a dozen demanding programs. This practice reduces that feeling of morning overwhelm and helps you start with clarity. The fourth is planning or prioritizing. This is about taking a moment to consciously look ahead, even if only for 1 minute. What's the one most important thing you need to accomplish today? Benjamin Franklin famously asked himself what good he should do that day. You don't need a complex color-coded schedule, though that is great if it works for you. It might just be mentally identifying your top 1 to 3 priorities, or deciding which challenging task you'll tackle first. To get it out of the way, an approach often called the eat that frog idea. This simple act transforms you from being a passenger, reacting to incoming tasks, to being the driver setting the destination. It gives your day direction and purpose right from the start. The fifth is nourishment, feeding your body properly. Notice I didn't just say breakfast. While many successful people eat a healthy breakfast to fuel their brain and body with things like protein, fiber, and healthy fats, similar to Reese Witherspoon's smoothie or Rich Roll's choices, Others practice intermittent fasting or eat later. The intentional part is key. It's about consciously deciding how you're going to fuel yourself for the day ahead, whether that means eating a balanced meal soon after waking or planning to break your fast later with something nutritious. It's avoiding the mindless grab-and-go junk food simply because you didn't think about it beforehand. It's respecting your body's energy needs. The sixth is learning or mental input. Deliberately feeding your mind something useful or inspiring. This could be reading a few pages of a book, scanning industry news like Sundar Pichai, listening to an insightful podcast during your commute, or even just learning one new vocabulary word. Bill Gates and Warren Buffett famously dedicate time to reading. It's about proactive mental stimulation rather than passively consuming whatever the algorithm feeds you. It sets a tone of growth and curiosity for the day. Even 5 minutes counts. It's about opening your mind intentionally, not just letting information wash over you. The seventh is managing digital input, which is a practice that can also be considered a mini digital detox. This is huge in our hyper-connected world. Many successful people make a conscious choice not to immediately dive into email or social media the second they open their eyes. People like Ariana Huffington or Mel Robbins advocate for keeping the phone out of the bedroom or at least resisting the urge to check it first thing. Why? Because checking your phone immediately puts you in reactive mode. You're letting other people's agendas, notifications, and crises dictate the start of your day. Delaying that, even by just 15 or 30 minutes while you hydrate or move, allows you to maintain control and set your own tone. Now, is this universal? No. Some roles might require checking critical communications early, like Tim Cook. Again, it comes back to intention. If you choose to check email first thing because it's essential for your role and reduces anxiety later, that's different from mindlessly scrolling through social media out of habit. The habit is about consciously managing that digital floodgate. So those are 7 common building blocks: hydration, movement, mindfulness, planning, nourishment, learning, and managing digital input. Notice how flexible they are. Notice how they all serve that core habit, starting with intention. You don't need to do all 7 every single day. That defeats the purpose and can lead straight back to overwhelm and feeling like a failure if you miss one. Remember, the goal isn't a perfect, rigid checklist. It's a purposeful start. How do you build your routine? Start incredibly small. Pick one thing from that list that resonates with you and feels easy to implement. This is separate from the core intention. Maybe it's just putting a glass of water by your bed tonight. Do that consistently for a week. Feel that small win. Then maybe add 5 minutes of stretching. Build gradually. And crucially, know thyself. Are you a morning lark or a night owl? Your internal body clock, your chronotype, is real, and it's largely genetic. Trying to force a 5 a.m. routine when your brain doesn't truly switch on until 10 a.m. is fighting a losing battle. It leads to sleep deprivation and misery, not peak performance. If you're an owl, your intentional morning might start at 9 a.m., and that's perfectly fine. Maybe your most productive planning time is the evening before. Work with your biology, not against it. Success looks different for different chronotypes. Jeff Bezos waking naturally around 8 a.m. is just as valid as Tim Cook's pre-dawn start. Also, life happens. You'll get sick, kids will have emergencies, travel will disrupt things. A routine needs to be flexible, not brittle. Have your core non-negotiables, which could be as simple as hydrating and 1 minute of deep breathing. Then have a selection of other options you can choose from based on the day's demands and energy levels. Aim for consistency, not perfection. If you miss a day, don't beat yourself up. Just get back to it tomorrow. The routine is a tool to serve you, not the other way around. Beware the trap of toxic productivity. Don't let your morning routine become just another stick to beat yourself with. Another way to feel inadequate if you don't measure up to some influencer's idealized schedule. The goal is well-being and effectiveness, not performative busyness or burnout. If your routine starts feeling like a stressful obligation rather than a supportive structure, it's time to reassess and simplify. Is it genuinely helping you achieve your goals? Or is it just adding pressure? Forget the perfect routine. The only magic lies in starting with intention. That's it. Own your first few moments. Choose your beginning. That deliberate act is the true foundation. Build simply from there. The best routine isn't prescribed. It's yours, purposefully designed. That's the only secret.